ladies and gentlemen, E3's done for us.
For now.
For now. We've got no more conferences. Callum and Ewan from GameEngineStart.com. We're here to talk about the Sony conference, the last of the conferences that we're actually going to cover.
Yep, day after.
Day after, because it finished at like 3:30 or whatever.
Yeah, that was a strong conference.
Yeah, real good.
Continuing the theme of a lot of people just coming out with
here's some fucking games.
Here's some solid reasons why you should be playing video games.
Yeah, here's why you should have a PlayStation or whatever.
Stuff happening after a very kind of weird start.
Yeah, really big orchestral piece for God of War.
Well, not even orchestral. Like they had an orchestra in a pit.
But makes it an orchestral piece.
But yes, but I mean, like it wasn't just like, hey, some fancy music.
No,
like,
it
they
was
had a full orchestra.
A full orchestra that they had
there.
And they played music throughout the entire thing.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that had real impact.
Like every time, I can remember his name.
What guy?
And the main presenter.
Oh, I can never remember his name either.
Oh, but every time he walks on to like some very orchestral, he kind of across a little bit like an evil villain almost, like that kind of.
I mean, it's the sort of thing you would do if you had an orchestra at your.
Oh, totally.
gig.
Yeah, if I got to have them do the whole thing, and then straight out the gate, God of War.
Yeah, the new God of War.
God of War.
Just called God of War.
Yeah.
Apparently.
More Nordic influences.
Yeah. There's a bunch of like giants and talking of Valhalla, and he's got a big axe that he can teleport backwards and forwards.
Yeah, less angry, more dad-like.
Yeah, he's like helping some young guy how to hunt.
Got a big beard this time.
Big beard. Still has all the weird Sparta paint on him.
Yeah, which is why, and then when they talk about Valhalla and stuff like that, so
and he has a move called Rage of Sparta or something like that.
Like,
Spartan Rage.
Definitely still Kratos, but like Dad Kratos.
Dad Kratos helping this young guy kill a deer, a magic deer.
That's one of the notes I wrote for this was everyone is now your dad. Like after a bunch of the conferences that have had stuff like that.
Video game dads.
Video game dads. Then we went on to Days Gone.
Yeah, their new IP.
Which is a new IP.
Biker gang.
New IP in a very general sense, where it's a nerd.
Is a new named game with different people in it, but it's very Last of Us.
Yeah, it's kind of like take Last of Us with actual zombies.
Yeah.
And make the main protagonist part of some kind of.
He's part of a biker gang. He's got his cut.
Yeah. He's got all of the.
He's got everything that you need. He's got a cut. He's got a bike. He's got some girl that hangs off the back of him. Apparently in the cutscene, so he's a biker gang guy.
Sure, but
he appears to just be running around looking for supplies or something.
Like the impressive thing for me, like it is very much your kind of traditional zombie thing, but it was more that they kind of pulled the Dead Rising card and said, "Look at the amount of zombies we can have."
So many,
and they all run. And like there's a section where he like comes out the top window of a barn. And they just spill out like water.
Yeah, it's very fluid dynamic.
Like, there's a lot of fluid dynamic style, like them forcing zombies through small spaces. Looks really cool. That could be kind of awesome depending on what that game actually is.
Yeah, like you could set up some really cool situations with that kind of zombie horde style situation. Which would be really cool.
Very cool.
Can't remember the guy's name. I don't think I ever said it.
I don't think I ever said a name, which is weird. If they did, I didn't.
But it was just a lot of like cutscenes of him on bikes.
Sure.
And traveling and all that sort of stuff. Talked about how you remembered when the trains were running and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so he's obviously
very apocalyptic.
This is near after the apocalypse happening. And all this kind of stuff. Last Guardian has a date.
Yeah.
They showed a little bit more of that game.
Your birthday.
Trailer. It's on my birthday.
Yeah.
Which I was saying at the time is the best way to round off this whole 10-year fiasco of me wanting the Last Guardian.
Yes, finally you get it on your birthday.
On my birthday.
Yeah, 25th of October.
25th of October for that game.
This year.
Yes, like I mean, they said 2016 last year.
I know,
we were always like, maybe it's not.
Maybe it's not.
Maybe this thing doesn't. Actually, maybe this is all a figment of our imagination.
It apparently is a game that exists.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's played it, but
not yet. I mean, they might be playing on the show floor.
Maybe.
You don't know. More Horizon.
Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero
Dawn.
Zero
Dawn.
It is Zero Dawn. Game still looks awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Game looks super cool.
The Neolithic kind of like post-apocalypse versus robot dinosaur style thing.
Yeah, but the
robot animals, I guess.
But they've definitely the humans who are left appear to have just kind of assumed some of the technology from these things because she had like an earpiece.
Yeah, the cool earpiece that like gives her a map and like a weird ping scan thing. She
can scan things for components that she needs
and weaknesses.
There's elemental weaknesses. I think was one of the things they came up with. Just visually incredible.
Yeah, really nice looking.
The most far away gorilla I can get from Killzone.
Yeah. It's all like kind of bright and lush and instead of dark and grey. Yeah.
And there's also like dialogue trees.
Yeah, I think it has like a
it's not just an action adventure. Like there's
story.
some kind of Mass Effect style conversation system.
That's what you do when you've got a character action game.
You actually want to care about.
Yeah, they actually want to care about. Just tied that T-Rex, not T-Rex thing, that weird thing down, and like blew it apart when it Yeah, there's like different arrows and stuff that you
Yeah,
can...
they had yes. They had,
She hunted that stag and then rode it.
yes,
rode it around.
She hacked a
Hacked
stag
a
and
weird
rode
ox
it.
thing, yeah, and rode it as a mount.
Fuck.
Yeah, it seems alright.
Game looks cool.
Yeah.
Game looks cool. Detroit.
Yeah.
What I was going to say Detroit Zero Dawn.
Detroit something human or something, I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't
Anyway,
remember.
Detroit, the new Quantic Dream game.
Yeah.
Got a little bit more into it and actually showed a little bit more of here's how this is a game.
Yeah,
where-
it's the cool things out of Heavy Rain, the investigation stuff.
The trailer they played, which you should go watch because
Yeah.
it explains it more. Basically, they said like, here's a scenario and here's what happens if you just go through and try and do it. And it's like, well, I don't have any information about what's happening here, so I'm gonna fuck this up pretty badly.
Yeah.
And then they were like, okay, so then they rewind and go, okay, how about you do some investigation? You find like, here's a gun, here's
Like
this guy's
footprints
ID,
and,
all this kind of stuff, and then you can go into the conversation with like, I have all this information and you're lying, and here's how I convince you and all this kind of stuff. And then even with that, they then started branching.
Yeah,
again,
they showed the kind of like logic node network.
Yes, so they showed
behind-
like a decision tree
Yeah.
of like, here's how you start and here's all the various. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Like at the end of a scene.
That would be really cool. Like
They-
various options.
It was a really cool thing they did with the remaster of Beyond Two Souls.
Mm-hmm.
Is that at the end of every stage they said, here are two things that could have happened, and here's how many percentage got one and the other.
Right.
So you could look at that and go, oh, I didn't even realize that was an option.
Sure.
How do I do that? And all that kind of stuff. But I kind of want to see like, here's the path you took, and even if the other nodes are blanked out,
Yeah,
like,
just to see
I
how
wanna
many
like,
the other
that's
nodes.
a point where I could
Yeah.
split.
That would be a really cool idea.
That game looks awesome. I am
Yeah.
a sucker for Quantic Dream games.
Playing as an android called Connor.
Connor.
Who's like an investigator for something.
Yeah, and he's definitely an
I
android.
guess rogue AIs, but
Yeah, he's definitely an android, and there was one of the decisions they very briefly made was like, how about you just like break some of your android programming and actually start lying to other androids?
oh yeah, there was the thing I noticed was like there's a scene where you can like pick up a gun.
Mm-hmm.
And the option is like leave it or take it.
Yeah.
But then the take it option has like a pop up that says like this is against the Android Act,
Yeah,
whatever.
like
and
androids
it's like
are allowed
that's
to wield
yeah.
guns, so
you
kind of
can't harm humans.
yeah,
so
you can
it's-
kind of manipulate your own rules. Again, there was a second game of the conference which has an element of the fall in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Of like, here's your AI programming, but
It's
you
learning
might
how
need to
to
break it in order to be able to
Yeah.
fulfill one of your other ones, and it's kind of cool. Then we went on the VR train.
Yeah, there's a lot of VR. Well,
Pretty
they have
hard.
to talk about VR. They've got their own headset.
But probably one of the biggest, and definitely the one I've seen a lot of people talking about, not even in terms of VR, in terms of games of the show, they announced Resident Evil 7
yeah, with a very
with a
terrifying trailer.
real scary looking trailer.
Yeah.
Like they've basically looked at, so this was based off the
Kitchen demo.
Kitchen VR demo that they've been showing, that Capcom have been showing at PlayStation VR events,
Yeah.
which a lot of people came out and said, no, that was
Terrifying,
too much.
yeah.
That was too much. But so Resident Evil 7 is a full VR experience. You can play it with or without
Yeah.
the VR headset. Looks a lot like PT.
Yeah, it's
Just,
very
like,
first person.
Visually,
yeah.
they're going for like
You're in
kind
a
of
house, that kind of thing.
very kind of, not gruesome's the wrong word, but like decaying flesh and
Yeah, things
wheelchairs.
falling off of walls
Like,
and stuff.
This looks like a Silent Hill game,
Yeah.
kind of, but with a Resident Evil slant to it. They've totally changed that series. That is not an
Yeah,
action game anymore.
I'm interested to see how that fits into the rest of the
and
series.
the interesting thing is there's a
Because if like Wesker just turns up at the end.
yeah, like how do you tie it to what Resident
Yeah.
Evil is, or is this, and why is it Resident Evil 7 as opposed to like,
The Resident Evil.
this is the point where we say no, fuck, it's Biohazard.
Yeah, this
Like,
is now just called Biohazard.
no,
yeah.
but like, so it's Resident Evil 7, January 24th,
Yeah.
and
To go along with the end of the year, start of New Year fucking massacre that's going to
yeah,
happen. Yeah.
it's gonna be a busy couple of months. But also there is a preview demo
Right
out
now.
very PT like,
Yeah.
which I will be playing after we're done,
Yeah.
and it looks pretty scary. That might be too much for me.
Yeah, it's a bit.
As a person who very much enjoys Silent Hill, that might be too much for me,
Yeah.
just based on the way they do it. I'm interested to see people who are playing that on the show floor
If they're playing
in
in
VR.
VR, yeah.
and seeing what
I imagine that they'll have the same reactions to the
Um,
kitchen.
Yeah, then they said yes, there's definitely a VR stuff. October 13th.
Yeah, they
yes.
confirmed the price of
October 13th,
$3.99.
$3.99
Yeah.
in the States.
So $3.50
in the
here.
previous announcement, it was $3.50 and €3.50
Sure.
as well. 50 games in development.
But you need your move and your camera.
So yeah, so it's $3.50 without the camera or the move
Yeah.
that you need. So yeah, we'll see. And then it was a kind of train of more
VR games.
More VR games. So Farpoint,
Which one was that?
Sci-fi. You've got a gun.
Oh right, you're on like Mars kind of thing.
Yeah, and there's
that looked like an actual game in
that
VR.
looked like a
so
proper game, like,
yeah.
and the way that they had the rifle in first person, like it looked like they had the 2 move controllers because they were kind of doing all of this.
Yeah,
with
it
the
looked like they
rifle.
had it in that bracket that they had.
Yeah.
With the...
So actually, I was just reading this morning a photo of like their new like VR gun
Yeah.
came out, and it's literally like it looks like PVC pipe just done in like a bike frame style thing.
Sure. Okay.
Where you attach your move controllers. So I'm assuming
Okay,
it's that.
sure.
So you get that rigidness.
You can get the movement of a gun.
You can do, which is cool. They did the Battlefront VR mission.
Yeah,
which
X-Wing
they
mission.
talks about. So it is an extra VR mission for Battlefront.
Yeah.
Made by Criterion,
Sure.
which is
They understand how vehicles work, I guess.
which appears to be, hey, fly an X-wing.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I'll fly an X-Wing.
There's a Batman Arkham VR thing.
Yeah.
And they specifically called it Arkham VR.
Arkham VR.
And it was Hamill's voice as the Joker over it. So
We're the cowl.
there was no
Hashtag we're the cowl.
no idea what that actually is, but it comes from Rocksteady.
You're Batman,
Maybe.
I'm guessing.
I mean, one of the dialogue over it was very much like, what happens if you can't take the mask off? Which worked quite well of like, hey, maybe you'll see like this much of the,
Oh, sure,
like,
right,
they might be able to fuck with you in weird ways.
Yeah.
With that, especially if you look at what they did with Knight, with Arkham Knight, with like the Joker appearing like
Oh, right,
behind
sure,
you,
sure,
like
sure.
dream sequence stuff.
Because he's
maybe.
like in your head or whatever.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 15 has a VR
Experience thing.
Experience.
I think you take control of one of your douchebag friends who shoots a gun, and like
Yeah.
it's kind of like every first person shooter in the Vive where you have to like you stand still but you can teleport to different places.
And also, but it was very much like it looked like a terrible old first-person shooter because the gun was just like locked here.
Yeah, and it's just like
and like just a crosshair
bang,
moving.
bang, 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 bang. Yeah.
And then they kind of cut out, and the guy itself is
Was
wearing a
wearing-
PlayStation VR.
Thumbs up.
And thumbs up, and you're just like, oh, you're just taking the piss. This is Square.
Yeah.
Saying like, what's this VR thing people keep talking about, and then doing something dumb with it.
You're putting it in their Final Fantasy game.
Totally.
Yeah.
Then the required Call of Duty section,
It was actually really interesting.
which actually looked
Yeah.
kind of cool. So they
and
did everything. They basically, in that one section of footage, they did everything that's new in Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So you got in a spaceship, you went out into space, you shot a bunch of things in a spaceship.
You had the grenades with jets on them.
Then you left the spaceship in Zero G, had
Yeah.
a Zero G fight, grenades with rockets. You have a grappling hook that can define what down is.
Yeah.
You get to the bridge of a ship, you blow the window and suck everyone out of the thing.
Yeah.
You're real.
You're a dick.
You're kind
You
of
just
a dick,
rip guys'
so-
face masks off in the middle of
Yeah,
space.
like
It's
one
just
of
a
the
nice
melee
thing to
attacks
do.
is just like, how about we just remove your helmet and you explode?
Yeah, but it like when you're on the spaceship, it looks like a Call of Duty game, but the
Yeah.
rest of it surrounding it makes it look
And
really
it's-
interesting.
I said at the time, I realised how much of a sucker I am for
Near future,
not
even near future,
this is
futuristic.
future, like just future style, and that's enough for me to go, maybe I play this one.
Yeah.
But also like, I'm never going to play the multiplayer, so
Yeah,
why
sure.
am I? Although it was like Zero G multiplayer could be interesting.
How does that work? Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a bit thinking that. Yeah.
You've just had
Is everybody just grappling?
everyone's got grappling.
It becomes like Rocket Arena.
Yeah, kind of. But like, it would totally change that game where like you have to not just look here and here. You have to look like here in case people are above you
And like
shooting down.
all over the room. Yeah.
Yeah, which is, I don't know,
Interesting, I guess.
weird Crash Bandicoot thing.
Yeah, they did the big because they had their big like stage that was like the Eurovision stage that was all just like
Yeah, the whole thing
screens.
was LED. Yeah.
And main man walks out to Crash Bandicoot music with Crash Bandicoot Shadow behind them,
Yeah,
giving it
good
this, and then just said, and we're putting out remasters, and it's in Skylanders.
Yeah.
Not here's a new Crash game.
No. And like there was a couple of things in there. One, like, so it's the remasters of 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
And he's a character in Skylander, the new Skylander.
Imagineers, or whatever.
Imagineers,
Imagination
Imagine-
team,
Imagine
squad, something, I don't know.
whatever it is. You can tell we care.
Yeah.
And yeah, the thing that surprised me more than like, hey, they're remastering Crash, because of course they are. Like, how many people in that audience freaked the fuck out when they
Did a
used
Crash
the
thing?
Crash
Yeah.
Like, I knew Crash was like beloved, but like to that scale.
I guess, yeah.
Okay, sure.
And it's not me, but like some people, you gotta like something. It's
Totally, yeah. Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
Another trailer for that, and
Yeah.
then there's a demo out now,
Yep.
which I played this morning.
Did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
me and my fiance played it this morning.
It's a Lego game.
It's a Lego game.
Yeah.
Some cool new features. That the kind of time crisis, hide behind cover and pop out with blaster thing, actually kind of.
Is that
alright.
real? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of alright. Like you're kind of stuck to cover, and then it's like you L2 R2, like you L2 to pop out and R2 to start shooting.
It doesn't say action.
No, but they
should do that.
It does have the time crisis thing. So the level that they play in the demo, there's a guy in like a sniper post with a shield around them, so you can't hit him. And when you would pop out, there would be like an exclamation mark that says, "This guy's about to shoot you."
Right.
So you can dive behind again.
Right.
So game looks cool.
Sure.
2 weeks and play that demo. Kind of awesome. Then shit went off the rails.
Yeah.
Because out of all of the prediction stuff we'd done, all the
completely
wondering
forgot
what would happen, we forgot that Hideo Kojima was
he's
a
a
thing.
person, and he walked from the back of the stage.
Yeah,
just...
if you need any more convincing that Sony are 100% behind that man, that curtain came up.
Yep.
There was a figure standing there, and then he walked down their angle stage with like a light bridge forming under his feet.
As the new Kojima logo was forming
Still
behind them.
Awesome.
Like weird Spartan helmet with a skull in it. Yeah.
And then they said, yes, we have a new game. Here's the new game, and this is all real time. And then showed this trailer for this game called Death Stranding. Yeah. Which is a strange name.
Yes.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But hey,
it's that Norman Reedus game. Kind of.
So Norman Reedus is in this game.
Yeah.
Definitely him.
Definitely Norman Reedus.
And there's zero point in me explaining what's in that trailer because it will make zero sense.
Yeah. Like, it's a Hideo Kojima game. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it is. None of it makes sense, but everything I saw made me super excited.
Yeah.
Like, they're... It seems like Hideo... Like, it
feels like the kind of remnants of what PT would have been. I feel it almost seems like they could have picked it up and went, like let's do something else with it.
They took the PT idea and removed the horror for now.
Yeah.
Like it feels
with more weird psychological stuff.
And the thing that actually made me more interested is what I was saying to you briefly last night was that it feels like the most adult game. Adult in the very literal sense of like for grown-ups.
For grown-ups, yeah.
Where there's not a lot in there. I mean, we don't know anything about this game. We saw this trailer, right? But based on the kind of the imagery they were doing on there, it is very difficult for Hideo Kojima to be like weirdly comedic.
No, they're playing it straight. It seems like
they appear to be playing really, which is like I want to see what a grown-up Hideo Kojima does.
Sure.
With a story like that.
I think he can't help himself at points, but
with an actual actor who is emoting real well in that thing.
Yeah.
With an engine that looked a lot like the Fox engine, but obviously isn't.
It's not the Fox engine.
Unless there was some weird license deal that went on there. Like, we don't need this engine anymore, here you go.
It's not like we need it for pachinko machines.
Yeah. Fuck, yeah, totally. Give me that game.
I'd like to know more about it. I'm not gonna like... I'm obviously like interested because it's Hideo Kojima making more video games, but I'll wait and see what it actually is
But
first.
also, the credits slide at the end has Yuji Ishikawa
and Mark Cerny.
And Mark Cerny is the technical director.
Yeah.
So like, hey, you want to build a new engine? How about you get Mark Cerny? The dude who created the PlayStation 4 technically.
Yeah.
Kind of probably want that. And then Yuji Shinkawa, who did all the character designs and stuff for the previous one, will be in there. So
it'll be interesting at any rate.
And then probably the strangest closing of a thing so far.
Yeah.
Which made a lot of sense when you think about it, but was also...
Does it make a lot of sense when you think about it?
Totally. Like, so Insomniac are making a Spider-Man game for PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Currently just called Spider-Man PS4,
yeah.
which I'm assuming is not a final title.
I guess not.
But, like, you look at Insomniac's history, and, like, they've been making Infamous for how long? Like, that is a superhero game.
Oh, okay, it's just they're actually doing an actual superhero game. They're actually doing
it with a license now.
Sure.
And Spider-Man games have hit and missed. Like, Spider-Man 2 is well respected.
Largely missed.
Sure, but Spider-Man 2 is a very well-respected game, especially coming out of a license. Mm-hmm. So give it to a studio like Insomniac, who know how to do this stuff. Yeah, it looked at the stuff that they were showing in that trailer looked pretty cool. Insomniac is Infamous, right?
I think so.
Pretty sure. I'm going to very quickly check this.
Just you're actually just going to cut this out of the video because like this.
No, I'm just
Yeah, you're gonna cut this.
Yeah,
you're not.
That's fine. Yes, so it's something I gave.
Joe.
So yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, if you're the only thing you need to get down now is like swinging dynamics and like does that feel right?
Which for a Spider-Man game is a pretty big part of that. Yeah, like that. It again makes total sense that they would.
I think it looks like amazing.
It looks phenomenal. Like if they can take that tech they took from First Light, Second Son.
First Light
was the expansion pack.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, we played as that woman. No,
you play as Fetch.
Sure.
Yeah, totally. Justin McElroy was very happy on Twitter.
Sure. I would have been more excited if it was like new Spider-Man, like Miles, instead of Peter Parker, like the black Spider-Man suit.
Oh, right.
Because I think he's a way more interesting character.
Sure.
But it's.
But fine. Also, they didn't actually say anything about Peter Parker.
No, but it sounds like him. So it's.
Sure. Do you think? I mean, they might also. I mean, again, since Sony owns Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Maybe it is the actual guy who's now playing Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man.
Sure.
Who's not Andrew Garfield.
I can't remember the guy's name. Tom something.
Tom. Yeah. But yeah, and that's how they closed it. Which was interesting. Like, no big... Well, sorry, no, that's not how they closed it. That was the last game they showed. Yeah. And then at the end of it, they said, and here's some actual gameplay from Days Gone.
Yeah, they showed the actual gameplay demo for Days Gone.
Which, very cynically, a bunch of people on Twitter said, here's the section of the thing we were supposed to show you new hardware, but we decided not to.
Yeah.
Which is a decision that we'll need to
So then went to those guys and said, hey, give us like 5 minutes.
Which is good, because it sold me in that game.
Like, it looked cool, yeah. It looked really good.
Watching those zombies really, really had an effect.
Yeah.
But... yeah, like, I mean, we don't have time to talk about it now, but we'll in the podcast, I'm sure we'll talk about whether that was a good decision for Sony and the kind of
that's a bigger discussion.
But putting the Neo stuff to one side, that was a really strong,
really strong.
And they didn't do any film and TV stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't do any weird like other departments of Sony thing. Like this was like, here's some fucking games.
Here's the games
and. Here's our VR stuff, and here's some agile games that look like real games that are coming to VR.
Yeah.
And, I mean...
Could be interesting.
They kind of did it, and kind of did a really strong showing. So, yeah, that's kind of the big parts of E3 done.
Yeah, E3's kind of over
there was nothing big in the PC gaming show.
No, that's just
unless
a bunch
you care
of PC
about Arma
stuff.
3 and video cards. Yeah. Like, that was kind of it.
There's some interesting stuff. There was that Observer game that looked kind of interesting.
Observer, the game from... I can't remember the name of the studio, but like a kind of sci-fi.
Every studio on that stage had a bizarre name because they're all from Eastern Europe.
Sure. But like a kind of sci-fi horror where you're hacking into people's memories and seeing their darkest fears and all this kind of stuff, which looks
interesting.
Cool. But I think that was about it. Yeah. And then so later on today is the Zelda stream, which we will watch and talk about in the podcast.
Sure.
Like we're not going to do one of these for an hour of like. Sure.
Looks like a Zelda game. Yeah.
That looks like a cool Zelda game. Yeah. Like we don't have enough attachment to that, so. Stay tuned to the podcast for that. But that's us. That's the last video for
E3.
E3. Stay tuned next Tuesday for our regularly scheduled podcast where we'll talk about the stuff that's happened since then. Because there's been a bunch of like small stuff that's been happening.
Oh yeah, sure.
Oh well, small for some people, but not for others. After the Microsoft conference, they kind of went on the YouTube stage. Apparently, they said, "Yeah, oh yeah, we're remastering Phantom Dust and putting that out," which a lot of people went, "Why was that not on your stage?"
I guess because
a lot of people care about Phantom Dust.
A lot, but very specific people care about Phantom Dust. Not everybody does.
Sure, but
it's them paying dividends to when they made that Phantom Dust game a year ago, 2 years ago, and then cancelled it.
3 years ago.
3 years ago. Was that 3 years ago? Yeah,
stuff.
and then didn't make it. Yeah.
So yes, that's all our videos. Thank you for watching. If you like us, GameEngineStart.com is the site where all this stuff goes. So stay tuned there. We cover whatever we are enjoying. Really, podcast every 2 weeks as of Tuesday. The YouTube channel, youtube.com/GameEngineStart, is you follow and you'll see the rest of the stuff we're playing. Some stuff coming down the pipeline.
Yeah, there will be things.
Yes. So thank you for watching. Go play some games. Games are back.
I'm excited to play video games now.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
So go play whatever it is you're playing. We'll see you now.